Alice in Wonderland Sleep Story, A Gentle Dream Journey for Deep Rest. Chapter 1, The Quiet Meadow. Alice sat in a wide, peaceful meadow where the afternoon sunlight rested gently across the tall grass like a soft golden blanket. Nothing stirred the air except a slow and delicate breeze that moved through the wildflowers, causing them to sway in quiet harmony. The movement was so gentle it seemed the world itself was breathing slowly. Above her, pale clouds drifted across a vast blue sky, moving so gradually that time felt suspended, unhurried, softened. The warmth of the sun settled comfortably on her shoulders, not hot, not cold, but perfectly balanced, the kind of warmth that invites stillness and quiet reflection. Nearby, a butterfly floated lazily from one flower to another. Its wings moved slowly, as if the air were thick with calm and softness. It paused often, resting on petals that shimmered faintly in the golden light. Alice watched, without urgency, without thought, without effort. And as she remained there, the quiet of the meadow seemed to deepen, spreading outward like gentle ripples across still water. If you were there beside her, you might notice how soft the earth feels beneath you, how the air carries a faint sweetness of wildflowers warmed by the sun, how the breeze brushes gently across your skin like a comforting whisper. There is nothing to plan here, nothing to remember, nothing to anticipate. Only the soft rhythm of breathing and the slow drifting of time. Alice felt her eyelids growing heavier, not from tiredness, but from the deep comfort of the stillness surrounding her. Her shoulders softened. Her hands rested loosely in the grass. Even the small muscles around her eyes released their quiet effort. The world felt safe, held, peaceful. And as the meadow remained silent and warm, a gentle drowsiness began to settle in, like a soft blanket placed tenderly across the body. Perhaps you feel it too. A slow softening, a quiet heaviness behind the eyes, a gentle invitation to drift deeper into rest. Chapter 2, The Rabbit and the Gentle Descent, Extended. In the distance, a small white rabbit moved quietly through the tall meadow grass. He did not rush. He did not disturb the stillness. He simply moved with calm purpose, appearing briefly between the stems before disappearing again into the soft green waves. Alice watched him for a long moment. There was no urgency in her curiosity, only a calm interest, like watching a drifting cloud or listening to distant wind through trees. She stood slowly, brushing the grass from her dress, and began to follow. Her steps were unhurried, soft, effortless. Each step felt cushioned by the earth beneath her feet. The meadow stretched around her in peaceful silence, until she reached the roots of an old and gentle tree whose wide trunk offered shade and cool stillness. There, beneath its ancient roots, she noticed a wide burrow opening into the earth. A slow breath of cool air drifted upward from within, carrying a deep, soothing calm. The air felt different here, quieter, still, inviting. Alice leaned slightly forward and stepped inside. Instead of falling, she felt herself floating, drifting downward slowly, as if the air itself were supporting her weight. The descent was gentle, unhurried, weightless. Soft lanterns glowed along the curved walls, casting a warm golden light that flickered gently like candlelight, seen through closed eyelids. Shelves carved into the earthen walls held books, small glass bottles, and curious objects resting in perfect stillness, each covered with a fine layer of dust that shimmered softly. She drifted lower and lower, moving without effort, suspended in quiet calm. Time seemed to loosen its grip. Thoughts slowed. Breathing deepened. And as you drift downward beside her, you may notice your own body softening, your muscles releasing, your breathing settling into a slow and natural rhythm. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to resist, nothing to control, only drifting, only softness, only rest. Meditation. Pause, floating into stillness. Notice your breathing. Slow and natural, effortless. Imagine yourself floating gently in warm, soft air, supported completely, carried without effort. There is nowhere to arrive, nothing to achieve, only drifting deeper into comfort. Let your thoughts pass like distant clouds across a quiet sky. No need to follow them. No need to understand them. Simply float. Simply rest. Chapter 3. The Hall of Soft Golden Light extended. As Alice continued her gentle descent, the soft drifting motion gradually slowed until her feet touched the ground with the lightest whisper of contact. She found herself standing in a wide and peaceful hall, bathed in warm golden light. The light did not shine harshly or brightly. Instead, it glowed softly, as if filtered through layers of silk, filling the space with a quiet warmth that felt both comforting and safe. There were no sharp edges here, no harsh shadows, only smooth curves and soft reflections resting along the walls. The air felt still, calm, and slightly cool against her skin. Alice paused, allowing her breathing to slow naturally, noticing how peaceful the silence felt in this place. It was not an empty silence. It was a full silence, a gentle presence, like the quiet that settles over the world after fresh snowfall. At the center of the hall stood a small glass table, delicate and perfectly balanced, as if placed there with great care. Resting upon it was a tiny golden key. The key shimmered faintly in the soft light, not dazzling, not bright, only glowing with a quiet warmth. Alice reached out slowly and lifted it. It felt warm in her hand, comforting, familiar, as though it had been waiting patiently for her arrival. Nearby, at the base of the curved wall, she noticed a small door, no taller than her knee. Beyond the door, a gentle twilight glow shimmered, hinting at a peaceful world waiting quietly on the other side. But there was no urgency to open it, no pressure, no need to hurry. Instead, Alice sat on the smooth floor beside the table, resting for a moment in the stillness. The surface beneath her felt cool and grounding. Her shoulders softened. Her hands rested loosely in her lap. The quiet deepened around her. And if you were there beside her, you might notice how the stillness begins to settle inside you as well. How your breathing slows naturally. How your jaw softens. How the tiny muscles around your eyes release their effort. The golden light seems to soften everything it touches. It softens the air. It softens the walls. It softens the thoughts drifting through the mind. Time feels slower here, gentler, unimportant. Alice sat without thinking, without planning, without wondering what would come next. There was only the quiet presence of the moment. And in that quiet presence, the body begins to feel heavier, supported, deeply relaxed. The stillness spreads like calm water across the surface of the mind. And as the silence deepens, the night seems to draw closer. Soft, protective, peaceful. After a long and restful pause, Alice stood slowly and walked toward the small door. The golden key fit perfectly into the lock. With a soft and gentle click, the door opened inward, revealing a calm twilight garden bathed in soft moonlight. Cool evening air drifted gently through the doorway. And as Alice stepped forward, she carried with her the quiet calm of the golden hall, the stillness, the softness, the peace. You may feel it too. A deeper quiet now, a heavier calm, a gentle sense of drifting closer to sleep. Chapter 4. The Garden of Evening. Calm, extended. As Alice stepped through the small doorway, she entered a garden wrapped in soft twilight. The air felt cooler here, gentle and soothing against her skin, carrying the faint fragrance of night-blooming flowers. Above her, the sky had deepened into shades of soft indigo and silver blue. The first stars had begun to appear, glowing quietly in the vast evening sky. Moonlight rested delicately upon the petals of pale blossoms that shimmered faintly as they swayed in the slow night breeze. Nothing moved quickly. Nothing disturbed the calm. A narrow path curved gently through the garden, inviting slow wandering without destination. Alice walked along the path, her steps light and unhurried. The ground beneath her felt soft and supportive, as though the earth itself welcomed her weight. Small lantern-like flowers glowed faintly among the leaves, casting a dim and comforting light that seemed to pulse slowly, like a calm and steady breath. Fireflies drifted through the air, their tiny lights appearing and disappearing like soft flickers of distant stars. The quiet of the garden was deep, but not empty. It was filled with presence, with peace, with stillness. As you walk beside her, you may notice the cool softness of the evening air, the gentle rhythm of your breathing, the comforting sense that there is nowhere else you need to be. Each step slows the body. Each breath softens the mind. Each moment deepens the calm. The world beyond the garden feels very far away now, distant and unimportant. Only the quiet remains. Only the softness. Only the peaceful rhythm of night. Alice continues walking slowly, guided by the gentle curve of the path, feeling lighter with each step, as if the weight of the day has dissolved into the cool evening air. And as the garden grows quieter and the night deepens, you may feel yourself drifting closer to sleep. Chapter 5. The Pool of Quiet Reflections. The path opened into a small clearing where a still pool of water rested beneath the night sky. Its surface was perfectly calm, reflecting the soft glow of the moon and the scattered stars above. Alice approached slowly and knelt beside the water. The surface did not ripple. It did not stir. It remained smooth and silent, like a mirror of complete stillness. She gazed into the reflection, seeing the quiet sky, the silver moon, and the slow drifting shapes of passing clouds. The water reflected not only the sky, but the calm within her. The stillness seemed to extend outward, filling the clearing, filling the garden, filling the quiet space around her. She dipped her fingers gently into the pool. Soft ripples moved outward in slow circles, expanding, widening, fading, until the surface became still once more. Watching the ripples fade felt soothing, hypnotic, peaceful. And as you observe the slow fading circles, you may feel the mind settling, smoothing, growing quiet. Thoughts drift away like ripples dissolving into still water. There is nothing to hold, nothing to follow, nothing to solve. Only quiet, only calm, only rest. Alice sat beside the pool for a long, quiet moment, breathing slowly, feeling the gentle rhythm of the night surrounding her. The air was still, the garden was silent, the world was at rest, and the stillness seemed to settle deeper and deeper within. Meditation. Pause. Deepening stillness. Notice your breathing, slow, soft, effortless. Imagine your thoughts as gentle ripples on a quiet pool. Watch them spread, fade, and disappear. Returning to stillness, returning to calm, returning to rest. Allow your mind to become smooth like the surface of water. Quiet, peaceful, still. Chapter 6. The Path of Fireflies. Alice rose slowly and continued along a narrow path that glowed faintly under the soft light of drifting fireflies. They floated in slow, wandering patterns, their gentle lights pulsing like tiny breathing stars. Some drifted near, glowing softly, before floating away again into the quiet darkness. Their movement was slow and soothing, never hurried, never abrupt. The path curved gently beneath arching branches, where leaves whispered softly in the night breeze. Each whisper sounded distant, muted, comforting. The deeper she walked into the garden, the softer the world became. Sounds faded, edges softened. The night wrapped around her like a warm and protective blanket. Her steps slowed. Her breathing deepened. Her eyelids felt heavier. And if you walk beside her, you may feel the same gentle heaviness, the same quiet softness settling over you, the same invitation to rest. The fireflies drifted upward, gradually fading into the darkness above, leaving only the soft glow of moonlight and the calm presence of the night. Alice paused, feeling completely at peace, completely safe, completely at rest. Final chapter. Drifting into sleep. Alice found a quiet place beneath a great tree whose branches stretched wide and protective overhead. The ground was soft with moss and cool beneath her fingertips. She lay down gently, gazing upward through the leaves where small patches of moonlight shimmered between the branches. The night air was calm. The garden was silent. The world felt distant, quiet, asleep. Her breathing slowed naturally. Her body felt heavy and supported. The cool earth beneath her held her gently. The soft sounds of the night faded further into stillness. Her eyelids grew heavier and heavier until they closed without effort. The fireflies had drifted away. The lantern flowers dimmed. The moon rested quietly overhead, and the garden itself seemed to breathe in slow, peaceful rhythm. Nothing moved, nothing needed to move. Only rest remained, only quiet, only sleep. Final meditation, entering deep rest. Now allow your body to sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Feel the support holding you completely. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to follow, nothing left to think about. Your breathing is slow and natural. Your muscles are soft. Your mind is quiet. Drift deeper and deeper into rest, into stillness, into peaceful sleep. Good night. Closing reflection. A gentle return to stillness. And now, as the quiet garden fades softly into the distance, as the moonlight dims and the night settles into deeper stillness, we leave Alice resting peacefully beneath the sheltering branches of the great tree. Her journey was not one of urgency or effort. It was a journey of slowing down, of noticing, of drifting gently from one quiet moment into the next, through the meadow's warmth, the gentle descent, the golden hall, and the silent garden. She did not search for answers. She did not try to control the path. She simply allowed herself to move with softness and curiosity, trusting each step as it appeared. And perhaps, without effort, you have walked through this path as well. Perhaps you have felt the soft quiet of still places, the calm that exists beneath the noise of the day, the gentle peace that has always been waiting beneath the surface of thought. There's a stillness inside you that does not rush, a calm that does not struggle, a quiet that remains, even when the world feels busy and loud. Tonight, you have touched that quiet. You have allowed the body to soften. You have allowed the mind to slow. You have allowed yourself to rest. There is nothing more you need to do. Nothing you must solve before morning. Nothing unfinished that cannot wait. The night is not asking anything from you. It is offering you rest. It is offering you stillness. It is offering you the simple comfort of letting go. Like Alice, you can release the weight of the day. You can set down your worries beside the path. You can allow your thoughts to drift like clouds across a quiet sky, passing, fading, dissolving. Rest is not something you must earn. Peace is not something you must chase. Sleep is not something you must force. They arrive naturally when you allow yourself to soften, when you release effort, when you let go. And now, as the night deepens around you, as your breathing flows slow and easy, As your body feels warm, heavy, and supported, you may drift even deeper. Deeper into comfort, deeper into quiet, deeper into peaceful and restorative sleep. The garden is still, the stars are calm, the night is gentle, and you are safe to rest. Sleep now, softly, peacefully, and deeply. Good night.